happened? Tell me. It's like, you don't want to know. It's really scary. I was asking my mom if it was gonna like explode, and she said no, but unfortunately it did. And the smoke was just like coming. I was screaming and I was terrified. And I thought like the world was gonna end. I thought, this is all like a dream. But now if it happens again, we'll know what to do.
These are the kids of Manhattan's PS 234. Their school is just 4 blocks from where the Twin Towers used to stand. For them, the events of September 11th, 2001 didn't happen at Ground Zero. They happened in their neighborhood. It's September 11th, 2001, and at Manhattan's PS 234, a new school year is just 5 days old. As the day begins, one 4th grader is late, but she and her mother arrive just in time to see the beginnings of a tragedy unfold.
That's why I saw the plane hit, and I had to explain to my mom what happened. I wasn't exactly sure, but I saw the plane had hit something. I thought it was an accident, but then I heard an explosion.
I didn't hear anything. I felt a thud.
I don't care whether it's...
Pat Carney teaches 24 students in her 4th grade class.
It felt funny and unfamiliar, and I turned to my student teacher and said, "What was that?"
And our student teacher said, "Oh, it's probably just construction." And we're like, right.
No one could imagine what was happening just blocks away, but they could hear it.
When I heard the sound, I was like scared because I didn't know if it was a sound in the school or not.
I really thought it was something like just a little accident, like a building fire, like a normal building fire. That wasn't really much.
Then I went up to Lael's room and I peeked in and I realized they didn't know anything yet. They were completely calm in there and they had no idea what was going on.
Then I saw somebody's mom come in and they told Pat what was happening. And she started crying a little.
I went downstairs and got Grace, my daughter, and brought her up with me. I just wanted her with me.
All these parents were coming and taking their kids and leaving.
This kid raised his hand and he said, "Why is everybody running around like crazy out in the hallway?"
I really didn't know what to tell them, and this was my concern because I didn't know them well. You know, I just had these kids a few days.
And then my dad came in, and I never seen him, like, he always has the same face on, and I don't know what the different face is, but this time he had, like, I knew he had tears in his eyes.
I just knew it was something bad, not a little accident. Because usually parents wouldn't come to pick you up if it was a little accident.
Parents and kids begin to leave school.
I got on the subway with my mom. She was screaming her head off, and everyone was looking at her like, who is that crazy person? We were the only people in that car who knew about what had happened. And we got out, and she was still screaming, and somebody said another hole happened.
A second plane had struck the Trade Center towers.
People were running and dropping things, and it just, the energy changed.
I was sort of like confused because as soon as Pet told us to go downstairs to the gym, I got a book because I didn't want to leave it here. And then I heard parents talking, and I sort of understood.
It was bombs on it. You know, please take your children home.
What many kids were quickly coming to realize was that even teachers and school officials were frightened and confused. No one could really explain what had happened.
It was really scary for a lot of kids. They didn't know where their parents were because a lot of kids have parents working downtown.
I don't know how you would say this. We were just so surprised and amazed that a plane would hit it. We didn't speak for about 3 or 2 minutes.
There are no rules for an emergency like this.
Once I got out of the building, I started running towards the school. I was down here in 2 minutes flat.
My mom didn't come. Actually, my friends did. They were like, okay, we're taking you with us. We'll call your mom.
And when I got out, I hugged my mom. That's the first thing I saw. She was like, I can't find Dad. It made me feel scared that something really was bad.
And I was like, what if she's walking home right now when it hit? Like, I hope she's all right. I hope she's all right.
My mom came in and told me to leave right away. Now I thought my mom was going crazy too. Like, there was a hole in the tower and the sharp edges of the metal. That was even more than the smoke or the fire or anything else. It made me go nuts.
First thing I did when I stepped out of the school was I looked at the Twin Towers and I saw people falling out and stuff.
I was screaming and I was terrified. And I thought the world was gonna end. I didn't know if it was a bomb, if it was hijacked, if it was just a plane crash. And it was like chaos.
And I remember just standing there for 2 seconds and looking up. And then this man walked by and he said, how could you let your kids watch this? And it just snapped me back into action. I was like, he's right, let's go.
I looked out the window across the way, and I saw people running, like a Godzilla movie, running towards me, running, like thousands of people racing, with these terrified looks on their faces.
Pat decides it's time to get out.
I went back, I got my daughter Grace, and we left.
As the towers collapse, PS-234 is abandoned.
left the school and the smoke was just like coming, and I'm like, where's my sister? Is she gonna be okay? Is she coming? While I'm running, I'm also thinking about my mother. Where was she at the time? I wasn't really focusing on like what was going on around me. I was just focusing on if my family was safe or not.
I'm right here. Holy cow.
I thought, this is all like a dream. My dad said, like, where should we go? And I said, well, I have my godmother and my godfather's house in Harlem. I said, we have to go there. That's the only place we can go.
Finding a place to go is a problem for everyone.
My idea was to try to get out of the city up to my sister's house. Then I started hearing that everything was closed. I felt like we were trapped on this island, and my real concern was her. I had her with me. And she's so little, and I felt so alone out there in this crowd with everyone screaming and running.
By 3 o'clock, a time when these streets would be crowded with children leaving school, PS 234 sits abandoned. PS 234 has been converted into an emergency command center. Just 4 days after the tragedy of September 11th, Principal Anna Switzer returns to her school.
Well, we left on a Tuesday, and I came back on a Friday. The building was instantly changed. The long first-floor corridor, where there were signs on the wall that said boots. Size 7, size 8, size 9, size 10, size 11, and just boots, and hats and coats, and the whole place was just transformed almost virtually overnight. It's only 4 days later.
For the next 5 months, students must attend other nearby schools. The change only adds to their unease.
It's a lot sadder this year. People you've been really close with in the class, a lot of people left.
And the struggle to help kids cope has just begun.
Amber sleeps on the top bunk, and that is adjacent to a window. I'm afraid that they're gonna hit other buildings. I'm afraid they're gonna hit our building. So we let her sleep on the floor.
But the questions and the nightmares linger.
I've asked her a lot of times because I just really want to get it down where you were and what you did and how you got out of it and stuff.
She had dreams of being buried alive and worrying about the people who had come down the stairs. She did a self-portrait at the time, which was beautiful, but scared the hell out of me. And I thought, this and the dreams of being buried alive, I'm just going to take her to talk with someone, just to make sure.
For the next several months, the busiest man at PS 234 is school psychologist Bruce Arnold.
Some children reported soon after 9/11 that they had seen large numbers of birds flying that morning. There were other children who said that they saw birds on fire. We now know that most likely what those children saw were people jumping from the towers.
Sometimes I think about it and I think, like, what would happen if I were in the Twin Towers? Like, would I still be alive? Probably not.
I watch the news more often now, so I feel like there are more fires, on TV. And I keep hearing my parents talking about, like, these diseases and people dying. So I don't feel the same.
We see the recovery still very much underway in terms of what the children are saying, what the kids are drawing, what they're writing about. And it's hard to believe that that's not going to remain the case, I would say, for several years.
It's going to be in a museum of natural history. It's your beautiful masterpiece? Yes.
Recovery may indeed take years. These 9 and 10-year-olds are grappling with what should be adult lessons. Lessons about life and loss.
Be respectful of someone because they could be gone before you know it. So that's what I've learned.
Well, I would tell them not to feel like strained, like, oh my God, look what happened. Like, more like, okay, like, this happened, so what should I do to counter it?
It's February 2002, 5 months since the disaster. PS 234 is ready to be a school again. Rescue and recovery personnel are out of the school, and the kids are back in.
School kind of is cool. You get to play, you go to the yard, you have lunch. But I think that sometimes school can be a big help.
But no one knew just how coming back to PS 234 would affect the kids.
Setup man is. I know for myself, when we were at the temporary school, I thought about the World Trade Center and the incident every single day. Every single day. And when we came back here, I never think about it. I glance down the block, you see Ground Zero, but while we're in the school, it really doesn't occur to me to think about it, and I think that's what's helped the kids most.
That, and the attention from well-wishers.
Scary, huh? It's not even nice.
Look, do you want to see the cake?
Thousands of gifts have poured in from kids around the world.
Well, I remember from Japan, they sent 11,000 paper cranes on a mobile. And everybody is like, wow.
They sent everyone a teddy bear that, like, kind of helped me. Because it was like someone from far away sent me something. They're just, like, thinking of me.
Gorgeous. Let's see what else we got.
By the spring, it seems the kids are beginning to come to grips with everything that's happened. Enough that they've seized a unique opportunity to tell others about their experience.
Look at that.
Pat Carney's class has teamed up with National Geographic Kids magazine. They're creating an exclusive article on their unforgettable year.
I got really excited, like everybody else in the class did. It was fun, and I was happy that we were getting, like, National Geographic treatment.
Well, it's kind of about Edison, because Edison looks bigger here, and very much, you can almost not see him there. He looks like a stuffed toy there. I think that people should know that we're okay, and none of us were hurt, and none of our family members were hurt.
Carson, did you get to see the second page?
It could have been so much worse, and I'm so lucky to be alive, and everyone I know to be alive, and everything worked out okay.
Some kids are really strong like adults, and some kids aren't. We all kind of went through the same thing, and we're all strong. And we all have a life to live, and we all have to get through it together.
Yeah, it's fun to read the dummy text.
Despite everything they've been through, New York remains their city of wonders.
Well, it's never lonely here. There's people everywhere. It's so exciting. I love New York.
There's like a bank robbery, or a store robbery, or someone wins the lottery. And so there's some of the coolest toy stores in New York, like the new Toys R Us with the Ferris wheel inside. It's all excitement and adventure.
Then, on June 26th, the most remarkable school year of their lives comes to an end.
Wow, I've gone through a lot of hard stuff with a lot of friends. And I wouldn't believe that year's over already.
But it is. And for parents, teachers, and students, it's a year they'll never forget. The kids at PS 234 are growing up, but most importantly, they're doing it together.
The second famous turtle. Let me say goodbye to your mom. Right there. Thank you. Have a great summer. Great.
Oh, it's unbelievable. Let me see that camera, Rebecca.